I posted a lot of tips about buying and selling real estate here on this channel, but recently I found a huge part of the population who wants to escape the city life and they want to find a piece of property out in the country. I get it, but wanting your own specific space away from people, there's some good and some bad with that. Now maybe you want a large garden or a simpler way of life, or you want to raise chickens or find some peace and quiet, right? So if this is what you're looking for, here's my top 5 things that you need to watch out for if you're looking to live out into the country. Now, if you come from the city or even a small town living, there's one thing that you need to understand, that more than likely you're not going to have access to municipal water and sewer. That water is going to be coming from a well that's pumped from the ground with electricity that you need to pay for in order to have those lines run to your property. Also, you're going to need to install a proper septic system for your wastewater. So what you really means is your heating and cooling and your plumbing systems are going to be very different than what you may be already used to in the city. And you're going to want to make sure that you're working with someone who can explain the important differences of what to look for and what to stay away from. Because every single parcel of property is completely different. Some are average, and then there's others that are way above average, and you're going to want to know what to look for and what to stay away from. You're going to need to make this offer look a little differently when it comes to writing it up, because you need protection around those items. So let's take a look at some of these things that you really need to focus in on. The second part of this is you really need to be aware of the zoning for that property. Now, just because you want to have a couple chickens or a milking cow, whatever it is, just because that property is in the country does not mean the zoning is compliant with the agricultural use of like goats or ponies. So you want to make sure that the zoning is compliant with what you really want to do with that property. Does it make sense? Okay, so next, when you're buying land, be sure you get a survey, because you really want to know where the property boundaries are, because you really need to know if anyone's encroaching on that property. Because you don't want to buy that piece of property or raw land and then find out somebody's got a driveway or a barn or a fence or something on your land, right? Now trust me when I say this, you don't want this legal aggravation after you purchase. You need to get this resolved before you buy. So make sure that you know where the pins are, where the flags are, where the stakes are in the ground, so that you know that there's absolutely no encroachments on that land from any neighbor before closing, not after, guys. Make sense? So the fourth thing that I'm going to caution you about is the quick way to see if your property is swampy or if it's holding water when it rains is to look for open areas of dirt. Now, if you see an area that's open without dirt, without leaves or brush, you can see where the water flows and where the leaves bunch up and they congregate. So when you're buying a piece of property, you want to know where water actually settles. Now, I've got another video here with 17 more things that you want to know about before buying land, so I'll link that in the comments. It's a super solid list. But I want you to know the fifth thing here. This is super important because you really need to be aware if this property has more residential properties that are going to be coming available around in the country. Because if those properties haven't been sold in the past and they're subdivided from a larger piece of agricultural land, watch out for rollback taxes. Now this is when the property was agriculture and it's subdivided into small sites and have a totally different tax value. And the new owner may be responsible to making up that difference. An example of that is a farmer had 60 acres of his farm and he divided into 2 and 3 acre lots. Now you got to understand what the uses of all that surrounding area of land is going to be, because you may have lived in the country and you think suddenly it's all cool, but then everything around you starts getting developed and there's houses all around you. Do your research. And research is not a Google search, guys. I'm going to say it again. Do your research. Not a Google search. Now, I hope you found this information helpful, and if you did, guys, please share this video with someone that you know who could actually use it. I'm Jerry with Jerry Pincus Real Estate Experts. My team is here to help you. Give us a call at 843-839-9870, and no matter where you live in the nation, we are here to help you find your hidden gem and avoid those pitfalls that are costly. I truly appreciate you for watching and commenting on all these videos here on this channel, and until next time, stay happy, stay educated, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.